Hi all, this is Kanagaraj Arunthadhy. Today I am here to discuss the 10th set of questions in database management system. Here it is. The question is, Capital Central College was the only active school in the area during the war season. There were only 15 students in the school. Also, there were only 5 teachers and one of them was the principal of the school. The principal decided to add all students' details in a student's attendance marking system so he could be able to mark the attendance after the main morning assembly at once. Think you are a reputed database engineer and a principal requested to make a database while another developer is developing the system. The details have been given below. So here we need to create a database for the school. The tables are here. Let's move to the first question. Create a database named Capital School and insert this data to tables graphically. Okay, let's start creating the table. Today I'm going to use Hediscal tool to create the database to insert data all. So here on the connection we need to right click, create new database. Here we need to give the name of the database. The name is Capital School. Then without changing anything, I'm clicking on the OK button. You can see the database have been created here. Right click on it, create new table. First I'm going to create the small tables, then I'm going to develop the student table. So the first table is grade, name should be written here. By clicking on the add button we can add columns to the table. The first column I give as GID, that means grade ID, data type hint, and default default auto increment. And this is the primary key of grade table. The second one is grade. This also contains numbers, so I am keeping the data type hint, and default and setting no default value. So we have created the grade table. Let's move to the next table. The next table is village. Village table contains 2 columns. So the table name is village. Clicking on the add button. First column is VID, that means village ID. It is hint and default auto increment. I'm setting this as my primary key. Second column is village. Data type I set as Vacha 50. Default value is no default. Now we have created the village table. You can see the village table here. Next, the transport. The transport table is there. So we need to create the transport table. Table name is transport. First column I set as TID. It is hint and default auto increment. That means it automatically increases the value of rows. It is the primary key of my table, and the second is transportation method. I set the data type as Vacha 50, default, no default value. I'm saving this. So here is my transport table. Let's start creating the student table. Create new table. Table name is student. The first column is number, that means the admission number of the student. Number, data type hint. I'm setting this as my primary key. Default, auto increment. The second one is name. Name, the data type is Vacha. Length 50 and default, no default value. Then the third column is birthday. Birthday, the data type is date, no default value. Then we need to foreign the grade ID, this column, to student table. This is the foreign column, and this is the foreign column of village. The village ID is here, it is been foreign to student table. Likewise, the transportation method ID column has been foreign to student table. So now we need to create the foreign keys for student table and between other tables. The first column is grade ID. I am going to set this as int, and in the foreign key window I am going to add the column is grade ID, reference table is grade, and the foreign column is grade ID. So here you can see the column has been foreign to student table. Let's make village ID foreign to student table. This is also no default value. This one also no default value. The data type is hint. I'm going to add the second one. The second column is BID from the village table, ID column of village table. Then the last one, TID, that means the transport ID. It is also hint, default, no default. I'm going to set the column is TID from transport table, and the column is ID. So here we have set foreign keys for these three columns. Let's see the structure of the table. Here you can see the grade ID, village ID and transport ID has been foreign, and the primary key of the student table is none. So let's start inserting data to the table. First I'll insert data to these three tables, then only we can insert data to student table. So let's start inserting data using query statements. Insert into capital level school, the database name, and the table name is grade. We not need to add data to primary keys because we have set auto increment for them. So only the grade column should be added. Values are the first value is 6. I'm executing this query. So we'll open. You can see the first column, first row has been added to the table. The rest of the rows has been added to the table. We'll move to the next table. The table is village. Let's add data to village table. Insert into village table. is village, and the value is the first value is this. I'm executing this, refreshing. You can see the first row has been added to the table. I have completed inserting data to village table. Let's move to the next table. The next is transport table. So we are going to change the query. Table name is transport. The column name is transportation method. And the value is, the first value is bus. So now insert into capital letter school dot transport table. The column is transportation method, value bus. Let's execute it. You can see the first row has been added to the table. Here are the 5 rows of the table. Let's start inserting data to student table. Student table will insert data using graphical method. I'm adding a row. Then first name is this. The birthday is 2005, 3rd, 12th. So we should remove this 2005, 3rd, 12th. The grade of the first student is 6. So we should select from the drop down 6. And the village is 1. We should select 1 from this. And the transportation method is also 1. That means through bus. So here you can see the first row of student table has been added. So here is the rows of the student table. Let's move to the next question. After you create the database, the principal wanted to check your database for bugs. He has given you some sceneries. Read them carefully and write queries to get results. So now we need to write select queries to find out the requirements of the principal. So let's start it. The first requirement is select all students who study in grade 6. Use join query. So here we need to select all grade 6 students using join queries. Let's see the query. So here is the query. This means select all from capital letter school, the student table, join it with grade table on student grade ID and grade ID. That means this column should be joined with this column. So then we find where grade equals 6. The grade equals 6. So we can get the result for this requirement. That means select all students who study in grade 6. We can get the students who are studying in grade 6 using this query. We'll execute and see. You can see here the admission number 6 student is studying in grade 6. Her grade ID is 1. That means grade 6. And the other 2 students are also studying in grade 6. Their grade ID is 1. That means grade 6. So let's move to the next requirement. The next one is select birthdays of students who come from Padaviya by bus. So we need to find students, some certain students' birthday where they are coming from Padaviya through bus. So let's have the query. So the query is this. This means select the birthday only from student table, inner join with a village table on village ID with village ID. That means this should be connect with this ID. Then inner join transport table on transport ID with transport ID. That means this column should join with this column. Then where village equal Padaviya and transportation method equal bus. So students who are coming from Padaviya through bus, we should find their birthdays. Let's execute this. So we can get 2 birth dates, students who are coming from Padaviya through bus. So let's move to the next question. Select names of students who study at grade 9 and come from Mihindala on foot. So now we need to find the student's name who's studying in grade 9 and coming from Mihindala by foot. So let's write the query for that. So here is the query. This means select the name only from student table, inner join grade with grade ID. We should join this grade column with this ID column, and then inner join capital letter school village on village ID to student tables village ID to village table village ID. That means this column should join with this one, and then inner join transport on student table TID with transport TID. That means this column should join with this ID column. Then where grade should be 9, village should be Mihindala, and transportation method should foot. So let's execute this. We can get 2 names, 2 students' name who they are from grade 9 coming from Mihindala, and the transportation method is foot. So now we have come to the end of the video. We have completed their requirements. That's it for the day. I'll meet you all in my next video. Thanks for watching.